There was no shortage of sights like these this evening. Downed power lines sparking and leading to widespread outages. Here's where the numbers stand right now for Consumers Energy. About 4,000 unique outages affecting some 194,000 people. You can pretty much see the path of the storm as it moved through West Michigan and into the eastern parts of the state. Outages the worst down further south where the winds hit earlier in the evening. That total number of 194,000, though, also including outages that are still active up north from the windstorm and ice storm that they endured over the weekend. Many communities there approaching their second night without power. The dual front is making things really challenging for Consumers Energy, who is also responding to those outages up north. They had 600 crews ready to hit the road well before the weather hit in both areas this weekend.
Every bit of bad weather we're seeing is what was predicted at the start of the weekend. We knew there was going to be the ice in northern Michigan and then the good possibility of outages throughout the day Sunday. But no, I mean, we would much rather, nobody wants multiple storms back to back. It does make it more challenging. But we're confident we've got the right game plan at least to respond.
Wheeler said the reality is that the outages here in West Michigan will be restored before those up north because the snow and ice is still affecting operations there. So things won't be totally back to normal there until Tuesday or Wednesday, he said. Here in West Michigan, as a result of today's weather, Consumers hopes to have all these outages restored by the end of the day tomorrow. Now let's hand things over to Scott, retracking the storm on radar. Scott, how did this play out?
Hey, good evening, Duncan. We had those storms erupt at about 4:30 this afternoon, quickly working their way through West Michigan, packing a punch in terms of the wind, especially many gusts exceeding 80 miles per hour. We also had numerous tornado warnings, which were sparked off by this line of convection. So thankfully, it looks like that is now tracked away from us, and the radar picture is fairly quiet at this moment. But you can see that we basically had 2/3 of the lower peninsula blanketed with different severe thunderstorm warnings as we traveled through this afternoon in the early evening hours. In addition to that, we also had 10 different tornado warnings, which were issued across portions of Michigan, extending further east toward Lansing. Let's get a look then at what some of the damage reports from across the area then. Anywhere that you see those icons, that's where we had either large hail, damaging winds, or some tornado touchdowns, which occurred toward Newaygo County. We'll have to evaluate if there was a tornado touchdown also in Kent County. Certainly a lot of wind damage, including very strong wind gust at the airport, exceeding 80 miles per hour, likely the strongest ever observed at the Gerald R. Ford International Airport. Here's a look at our temperature trend through today. We started off in the upper 30s early this morning, quickly rising into the mid and upper 60s this afternoon, and we're now beginning to see the temperature fall further. And we also have just a thin strip of some leftover showers extending out of Berry County into Ionia County at the moment, but otherwise a quiet situation out there. As we look at Storm Track Live, you can find that we have some snow, which is pinwheeling on the back end of this system. Possibility of picking up on some sprinkles and flurries to start things off on Monday. We'll talk about our next chance of severe weather in the cards for us on Wednesday. That's coming up in the complete forecast. Duncan?